How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Crabcore channel, where we are leveling up in our Magic the Gathering skills and in our day-to-day lives. We are back with a video on how I build my MTG Arena collection on a budget. So let's break it down. Maybe you are new to Magic, and if you are, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad that you joined this game. It's very fun, very enriching, and is surrounded by an awesome community. Maybe you're like me, and you were around for the closed beta of MTG Arena, and now that it's open, your account has gotten wiped, and you're trying to figure out how to grow your collection. Well, I have 5 tips that I believe will help accelerate the growth of your collection so that you can get to that tier 1 deck or even that off-the-wall, fun, janky build that you have been trying to work for. So without further ado, let's get into them. Tip number 1, get the Welcome Bundle. Magic offers one of the best deals that I've ever seen in their Welcome Bundle. Just to show you how good this deal is and how it can accelerate your growth, let's head into the client so you can see how it compares to the rest of the economy in the game. As you can see, for $4.99, you're going to get 5 packs as well as 2,500 gems. Now, to show you how this compares to the rest of the economy, if you're going to go and just buy gems straight up, $4.99 is only going to get you 750 gems. Now, gems are the most important currency in the MTG Arena economy because there are events that are gem-only entry, and the return on them is usually a lot higher than some of the ones that maybe you'd spend your gold on. 750 gems is not going to get you super far in this economy. As you can see here, 750 gems will get you about 3 packs, which is not too much. And if you wanted to do a quick draft, that's enough for a single quick draft. If you wanted to do competitive draft, it's only half of what you need to get into competitive draft. And if you want to do sealed, when and if they bring sealed back, that's only good for about getting you a third of the way into a sealed event. So that $5 is going to go a really long way. 2,500 gems and 5 packs. That's really, really solid value. And these gems will get you started on basically going infinite in this game. It'll get you into all the events that will give you another higher return on your gems. So if you keep winning, you can just keep recycling your gems. And it starts you off with a few packs and ways to really get you started in this game. So it's just a really awesome value compared to what $5 is going to normally get you. Tip number 2, farm competitive draft. When you get these gems right off the bat, you might be thinking, man, I'm anxious. I don't know what to do with these. I don't want to spend them in the wrong place. So let's head into the game. I'll show you all of your different options, and I'll show you why I believe competitive draft is the best option that you can pick to start growing your collection and going infinite in the game so that you don't have to keep dropping cash on new packs and new gems. To take a look at why competitive draft is so good for you, I want to compare it to our other draft format here, where it's 750 gems to get in. At 5 wins, you get 650. So at 6 wins, which is almost the full 7, that's when you get your 850 and you can cycle back into quick draft so that you can keep building your collection and your gems. However, if you look over at our competitive draft, which is Guilds of Ravnica right now, it is 1,500 gems to get in. All you have to do is go 3 wins in this format, which is a much lower win rate, before you can get your full amount back so you can get back into this. And at that point, you've gotten 3 packs from drafting, you've gotten 4 packs from winning. This is assuming you've only gone 3 wins, and you've gotten your full 1,500 back. So 7 packs, 1,500 gems, with the potential to get even more. and then you can recycle back in to competitive draft so that you can keep building your collection and keep growing your gem amount. So the return for your return on investment is much higher when you're doing competitive draft over your other either gold for gem return or your gem for gem return. It's just going to be the best investment that you can put into this game for the lowest win rate so that you can keep growing your collection faster while working on a budget. All right, tip number 3, maximize value out of your daily quest. Maybe you didn't go infinite in your drafts and you're trying to figure out, how do I get my gold and my gems back up? Well, what you're going to need to start doing, acquiring gold, start building up your card collection so that you can build decks to get your gold back up. So how do I maximize that gold? How do I maximize my card acquisition? I'm glad you asked. Let's head back into the game and show you how it's done. If you're just getting started out in the game, you're going to have quests right over here in this area that will get you packs for certain wins, or that will get you pre-built decks for playing a match or completing some kind of other random thing like deal 100 damage to your opponent. There's going to be various things right here that will unlock decks for you. So as you can see, starting with Wrath of Mages and scrolling down, it gives you a bunch of pre-built decks with actually really good cards, mythics and rares and good lands, stuff like that, to get you started out so that you can complete all of these daily quests. Things, cast 30 red or black spells. There's a red and black deck that can get you there. And so you can start growing your collection. A good tip if you're wanting to get your gold up faster, you have these ones right here that are 500. If you just click to re-roll, there's a chance, it didn't happen this time, but there's a chance that it'll go to 750. Like last night, this was a 500 gold quest that I re-rolled to 750, and that will allow you to have, small but significant incremental gains on your gold so that you can maximize it that way. Okay, let's say you've done your dailies, you've finished up all your quests, and you've got a pretty good amount of gold in your reserve. What are you going to do to go and maximize that return on your gold? The first thing you're going to want to do, assuming you have at least 5,000 gold, is head into a draft event, a quick draft event, where your gold is going to be converted directly into gems. So this is assuming that you don't have your 1,500 gems yet, just to head into competitive draft, where your gem for gem return, your return on investment, is going to be higher, like we talked about in the last tip. You're going to want to convert your gold into gems as much as possible, and then when you get to the 1,500, head into that competitive draft. So maybe you have, 1,200 or 12,000 gold like I do. You can do some drafts, get up to that 1,500. Something that you're going to want to watch out for, however, is events like this, competitive constructed, where you can convert your gems only into gold. You don't want to convert that way. You're always going to want to go gold into gems, not your gems into your gold. That's just a tip that you're going to want to do. You're going to want to keep in the back of your mind, because there are some gem only events and your gems are ultimately more valuable than your gold. So make sure you're always converting your gold into gems. So if you've got some gold, but you don't have enough to get into a quick draft yet, competitive constructed is a really good investment as well. So 2 wins, you get your gold back. Otherwise, you just keep going and you can double your gold on 5 wins in here. So maybe you've built up one of those decks, those pre-built decks, or maybe you've gotten enough cards to build one that you're confident in, that you're getting some wins in. Take 1,000 gold, come in here to competitive constructed, and see if you can double that so you can work your way toward getting that 5,000 gold to get into the quick draft, so you can get enough gems to get into the competitive draft, and then just keep going infinite that way. That is the sort of trajectory, the sort of cycle you want to take into this game. Turn your gold into gems the best way possible. And typically you're going to want to go competitive, constructed, and dailies to get your gold up, into your quick drafts to get more gems, and then take those gems into competitive draft so that you can cycle them and have a better return on investment. So that's the best way to maximize your gold in this game.
Tip number 4, build a budget deck. Hear me out. You absolutely do not need to spend all of your wild cards on an incomplete top tier deck. There are so many resources out there to build a serviceable, competitive budget deck that you can have fun with without breaking the bank and being anxious about spending all your wild cards on something that you're not excited to play. Let me show you how I did that so I could get started building my collection in the game.
So I had already done a few drafts, competitive drafts, already done a few sealed events when that was in the game to build up my collection. And I looked at what I had. A way to start doing that: go to your decks, go to your collection, and then set your filter to mythic rares and rares, because those are going to be the hardest ones that you're going to get. I went and I looked in here and I just saw what I had. And you might be strong in some colors and you might be, weaker in other colors. But, I saw that I knew I picked up a couple. If you go to my golds over here, I knew that I had picked up a couple of the Ral Izzet Viceroys and the Niv Mizzets and Expansion Explosion. So I figured I had a pretty solid Izzet deck on my hands. So what I did is I went to one of the many resource websites for Magic out there, and I'll link some of those below so you can know where to find deck lists and, how you can improve your skills and be competitive. I'll link some of those below, but I looked at what I had and then I went and I built a deck. So I want to show you, I built this Izzet control deck, and the thing that was awesome about this deck, it's made up of mostly commons and uncommons. So I really didn't have to spend the more valuable rares and mythics to fill out the deck. And you don't honestly have to do that either. I just had a couple of these that I was able to put in there and could add more later. I had one of these that I was able to just use one wild card more for it because I wanted that ability to cycle through my cards. And I had one Steam Vent, and I just use a bunch of these, really cheap tap lands. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's serviceable. And I've beaten tier 1 decks with this thing. So check out one of the websites, find out in your collection what you have, what are your strong colors, or maybe you have an idea of what you want to build around, whether that's aggressive or control or mid-range. Maybe you have an idea, and then you can find a budget list around that and get really good with it and beat those top tier decks and grow your collection with something that you've already sort of worked on without having to spend all your rares and mythic rare wild cards on it. This is a very solid way to start building your collection so you can work toward one of those brews or one of those tier 1 decks that you're excited about playing, and you don't have to break the bank to do so.
Tip number 5. I call this the fun later approach. When you're starting out, one of the easiest things you can do is build a really fast, really cheap, mono red aggressive deck. Burn out your opponent. You can play quick games. You're not running into the problem of having expensive dual lands, using up all of your wild cards. And a lot of these run on really powerful commons and uncommons that you can fill the deck out with. Like I said, it's not the most fun way to play, but you can get a competitive deck, you can grind competitive constructed, build up your gold, and buy packs in a really fast way. Hey, maybe mono red aggressive decks is your way to play, and that is how you have fun. By all means, you're already one step ahead of the game. Play your aggressive decks, have fun. But if not, this is a perfectly suitable launching point for you. If you just want to play this and you're not worried about the quote-unquote fun factor, it's a great way to get going in building your collection. All right, those are my 5 tips to grow your MTG Arena collection really fast on a budget. So let's do a quick recap. If you have not done it yet, buy the Welcome Bundle. It is a great deal and will really accelerate the process. Number 2, farm competitive draft and use the resources available to you to get better at it so that you can go infinite in the game. Number 3, re-roll your daily quests to maximize your gold, and make sure you're getting all your daily quests in so that you're maximizing your gold so that you can get back into quick draft and other formats that you can use to up your gems and keep going infinite in the game. Number 4, get a budget deck. One that's fun for you. You can find them all around online. One that's serviceable and one that you might actually enjoy playing before you can get to those top tier decks or those fun brews that you're trying to build. And number 5, if you need to have the fun later, build a red aggressive deck, it's a perfectly suitable option using commons and uncommons and no dual lands so that you can play quick games and get your gold and your card acquisition up really quick. I hope you guys have found this video helpful. If you have, please like, comment, subscribe. If there are other ways that you build your deck on a budget, please, I'd love for you to comment down below. Let me know, let others know. And if you have some fun budget lists that you've been running that might help others accelerate the process of their collection growing, please leave those down below as well. Thank you for checking this out. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.